So happy to be hanging out with Tenille Towns, nominated for Juno. Wait, correction, winner of Juno Album of the Year, Country Album of the Year, Lemonade Stand. I want to start there, Tenille. Tenille Towns, you must be feeling fantastic even now.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I am. I still am, I think, wrapping my head around it. It's such a crazy cool thing, and it really meant so much to me that people listened to those songs and made them a part of their lives, and to feel that celebrated at the Junos was just such a dream. It was so cool.
Well, yeah, there's no way someone can listen to that album and not relate. Like male, female, anybody. It was one of those songs, and I know a lot of artists have a hard time with competition because we're talking about art, right? Like, so this is really difficult. You're up against some of your colleagues, some of your friends, people you're like respect their work. But I think it's more about what your album means in this time in history. Is that kind of thing important to
Hmm.
you, like legacy? Do you think about that, or are you just putting out there? You're just channeling your emotion and then see where it takes you?
I think that it is about, I think, the time in history. I think that's what art is it's the observation. It's kind of collecting where your heart and your spirit is in that time in your life and being able to tell those stories through songs. I mean, those are my favorite records to listen to as a fan of music, is it feels like you're kind of looking through a window of somebody's life at that moment. And I think that about everybody who had records in that category this year. And I think that's the best part about music is it's little snapshots. So I'm looking forward to working on the next one.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing some new music from you. Out today, "Girl Who Didn't Care." What a song! I was listening to it. I've listened to it a few times now. Just what a great vibe to that song. Can you talk to me about how that came together?
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. I'm so excited this song is out there. And this was a song that came out of, I've been writing a lot of songs this year over Zoom and meeting new friends. I wrote this song with two friends that I hadn't met in person yet and learned how to record the vocals right here in my little music room and send them through the distance. And so I love how this song came together. And I think it was partly inspired by the walks I've been taking around my neighborhood this year. I think it's felt really therapeutic to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and been looking at different like sidewalk art from neighbor kids and hearing them laughing in the backyard and just sort of remembering the wonder that they see the world with and how much joy that is with that courage of just like being completely ourselves and not caring what anybody else thinks or says and not thinking that any dream is too far away. And I know that I don't think I would be here doing the thing that I love to do so much if it wasn't for the courage of the 7 or 8-year-old version of myself who was dreaming of getting to do exactly this. So it was really fun to kind of reflect on that this past year and write a song about it. And it feels like the right thing to say as the introduction to this new music I've been working on. I think it's a good place to start.
There is such a thing as too much adulting, isn't there?
I do think so, yes. I think there's a lot to learn about the way that they see the world.
I think that even happened to me when I read the title of the song. I'm like, Tenille Towns with "Girl Who Didn't Care." That just doesn't sound right to me. She cares about everything.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. I got you fooled with the title.
That's right. A little switch on me now. You you alluded a little bit here to lots of new music you've been working on. I hear through the grapevine that 2021 is going to be pretty good.
I'm hoping so. I really can't wait to keep sharing some of these new songs I've been working on and keep adding to the new guitar time capsule as we go. But yeah, it's been a really wonderful time. Like that's I think such a silver lining for me this past year is having the space and time to really be creative. There was so much going on in the world and on in everyone's isolation and times of change, and I just think there was so much to kind of think about and say, and I'm really excited to start sharing some of those things.
You, like so many songwriters, are a super feeler. It's pretty obvious. You're out there, and people don't know what that means. It's somebody who's super in tune with everything. Can you turn that off, or is it overwhelming at times? It's like a faucet that can't be turned off. What's it like for you?
I'm still learning how to balance that, to be honest, because I think creativity just sort of comes when it wants to in a lot of ways. I think there's ways to harness it. But there were a lot of periods through this past year where I was like, okay, I have lots of things to write about, and my journal is full of little song starts, and then there would be, months that would go by where I was like, I am really struggling with coming up with what I want to write about right now, and I'm learning in those moments to try some other things and go for a walk or try doing something else to kind of take your mind off it and find inspiration. So, but yeah, it's definitely it's a ride for sure.
Yeah. Listen, the music business is tough. Everybody knows that. And the tough part about the music business isn't just the fact that you have to perform and be great at it and right. In fact, that's not even the tough part. The performing part is the fun part. The tough part is, you've got to be on. A lot of your time isn't yours because you're trying to support projects that all these people help you put together and you put together yourself. When is there a point where you need that creative space where you're able to hit the brakes, or are you still learning that too?
I mean, yeah, still learning that too. I think this year was a lot of breaks, so I
Yeah.
felt thankful for the opportunity to do my best to be creative in that time. But that is something to learn. It's like there's so much momentum, I think, in chasing this dream where it's such a high and so exciting to be on the road and getting to see everybody and, like you're saying, performing, and then kind of learning how to balance that with the quiet of coming home and how to kind of use creativity in either of those places. So yeah, I'm still working on that.
I don't know how anyone goes to sleep within 6 hours after performing with Brothers Osborne, but that's what you're going to have to do, right? This is crazy. This summer and into the fall, this is going to be a big shows.
Oh, I'm so pumped. I'm so grateful for the return of live music. I feel like we are all, inching closer towards hopefully that light at the very end of the tunnel. And coming back to live shows, getting to open for these guys is just, it's such a dream. I love their music so much. I'm such a fan of the art that they make, and I really just respect them as human beings. And I'm so glad to have the opportunity to get to watch their show every night. And my band and I are so excited to get on the road and play again and get to see everybody out there and just feel that spirit of live music. My heart has missed it so much.
Well,
So
listen, when Canada as a whole is back up and running, you better drag some of those friends up here,
listen,
and you better bring
I
yourself too.
I cannot wait to get to come back home and play. I'm just crossing all my fingers for things hopefully for later this year, and I'm really, really excited to get to tour back at home as soon as I possibly can.
Tenille, we absolutely adore you. Your fans are requesting all the time your music, all the time, all the time, all the time, and you've got an amazing fan base. And now they've got something to celebrate today. The Girl Who Didn't Care, and it's in a positive way. Everybody, make sure to check it out, listen to it, stream it. We got it up on iHeartRadio and everything. Tenille Townes, thank you so much.
Thank you. So good to talk to you, Jeff. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day.